Public safety meeting for the city of Hudson in order on August 4th. Roll call, please.
Alderperson Holmes.
Here.
Alderperson Hall.
Here.
Alderperson Morset.
Here. Number 3, approval of the July 7th regular minutes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Number 4, parking on Mayor Road at O'Keefe Road. This issue was brought to my attention through, excuse me, sir, are you here for the Mayor Road? If you want to feel free to come to the podium, state your name and address for the record.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Eric Gilson, Gilson, 1509 South Point Drive.
So, Mr. Gilson, is it?
Yep.
Had requested that we take a look at the speeding and/or the parking issue on Mayor and O'Keefe and the whole kind of area up there. Both the next following issues are kind of all related. So there is a parking issue, and I think Jeff kind of laid it out. Now, Jason, can you at least kind of commentate a little bit that your squads are there and causing the problem, or example?
Yeah, I think what it was is, I don't have all of the photo. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so they parked some squads up there and took some photos just to kind of give an example of where vehicles appear to be parking. And you can see where there's the left turn lane. I don't know, do you have those photos in too? Okay. As you can see, that the left turn lane there, if there's vehicles there, then vehicles parked on the side of the road, then it's impossible for vehicles to pass through. So there is some concern there.
So it would recommend, you guys would basically be recommending go ahead and put no parking signs.
That's what I would say, yes.
Anything you want to add to the situation up there?
I don't think so. It's also particularly challenging after dark. If there's a dark colored vehicle there, it's almost impossible to see. There's no lighting. So anybody coming off of Carmichael onto Mayor there, making that turn at reasonable speed, there's a risk of a collision with a parked vehicle.
There's no street light at that? at
Not
all?
far enough down, like right at the corner there is, but if they're parked only a few, car lengths down there, they're almost impossible to see if it's a dark vehicle.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I think the issue is that the left turn lanes, prior to South Point going in and prior to the Massey going in, there was so little traffic there that there were very rarely cars making that left turn onto O'Keefe. No, it's not O'Keefe right there. It is O'Keefe, yeah.
Yeah.
But now there's a lot more traffic in there, and it's just pretty frequent that there's people parking there. So
No, and as I indicated in the email back to you, it's obviously we needed to address it once the development was done. So
Yep.
I'm glad that you brought it back to us, put it on our radar.
yep, I appreciate your
I live down
consideration.
there and I will second Mr. Gilson.
Okay.
It is not a very good situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And even worse with the fire truck then turning on.
Yeah, because you come around a corner and you're actually in that turn lane. You can't, they're
Yeah.
parked in a weird spot there. It's
Yep.
not designed for where they're parking.
What's your pleasure?
So how far down do we need the no parking, or from where to where?
I would say no further than to industrial. It probably doesn't even need to go that far between O'Keefe and industrial, just to get past those left turn lanes, which might be 150 feet
So
maybe.
that third, the middle squad car, just past that. I don't know if you saw the photos.
I don't see the photos, but
Is that far enough down?
yeah. As long as the no parking extends past the left turn for the left turn for the Massey facility, then I think that would be far enough.
I think from the O'Keefe to the driveway into that apartment complex.
Yes, that would be ideal. Yep.
Okay.
Up to industrial?
No, there's an apartment
Looks like-
complex on the right.
Looks like Brookstone Circle, it looks like must go in there.
Those townhouses
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
on the north side.
Okay. So maybe 2 signs? One closer towards Carmichael and then the other one the next block over. Does that make sense?
I'm looking at the map and
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's what here because everything hasn't been,
So we're looking west on this photo.
yeah. Yep, we're looking west. And that's industrial, so there's a street sign
No,
in
that's
the,
Brooks, is that,
So that from Carmichael to O'Keefe is not wide enough to park, so it would have to be from O'Keefe, one between O'Keefe and Stone Creek that goes into those condos, and then one between Stone Creek and Brookstone Circle that goes into the condos. If that makes sense.
Yep,
I think if
that
there's
makes
those
sense.
two driveways there that go in, that's
Yep.
the problem, yep. I'm not speaking out of turn, I drive that almost every day, and it is an issue.
well, no, we've got to go on what you folks that live up there to say, because that's the most important thing. Does that make sense to where we're trying to put it, Mel or Jason?
It does. Can I
Yeah.
show you where I did Google Earth? And is that what you're on to?
I'm just on Apple
That
Maps.
one, okay. Because one area I question too, where it has been tight before, is where you come off of Carmichael. There's a stretch here between Carmichael and O'Keefe. And then, once you go beyond O'Keefe to industrial, you do have a lot of people that live here and live here that do park along that street, this section.
So we're looking to no
So
park
you've
all
got
the way down.
O'Keefe, yeah, I think that's the best thing to do.
Okay.
So on both
that
sides or
makes
just on the north side of the street? Or is it already no parking on the south side of the street?
Let's say north side, wouldn't that,
Where they're parking currently is on the north side. I would be willing to bet that if we put no parking signs there, they would move their cars to the south side and it would just move the issue to the other side of the street. So the issue is there's not enough room for both a pass, a through traffic lane and the turn lane and a parked vehicle. There's just not room for all that to happen. So whichever side of the street it's on, it's going to be an issue.
why don't we set it up for both sides and discuss it at full council?
Okay. That's a
You
good
know what I
one.
mean?
Yeah, all
All
right.
the way, the distance equaling
Between Carmichael and then
industrial.
industrial, or do we need to
I
go?
think Brookstone Circle was
Brookstone,
probably as far as it would need to go.
Because if we could avoid pushing them out onto the street on the other side, that would be
yeah,
good.
okay.
Are you clear as mud?
Clear as mud.
So between Carmichael and Brookstone Circle.
Is that right? Or would you
Well, I would
prefer
say-
all the way to industrial?
All the way to industrial.
Yeah, to industrial.
To industrial?
That's what I would say, to
Okay.
industrial.
We don't need it beyond industrial?
I don't think so.
Okay,
Those condos don't do it.
okay. I'll make the motion then for sending to council, no parking on Mayor Road between Carmichael and Industrial Street on both sides.
I'll second, but clarification, you saying, that this usually lands in consent agenda. Are we wanting to have a discussion?
Yeah, we can pull it out and she
Yeah.
can make a note that
Okay.
it doesn't go on consent.
Okay, I can put it in the motion that it doesn't go into consent.
So then we can see it, maybe take some new photos or
Yeah,
a little bit more photos?
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Get some
I
further
second it, but I
recommendations,
second.
maybe Dean or Maverick can take a look at it and make,
Right, Maverick. Mhm.
Any further discussion? Did you have anything else to add to that?
Nothing to add, no.
So we're going to recommend to our next council meeting, which is the
18th?
18th?
No,
15th,
15th.
Monday, 15th.
Okay.
I won't be able to attend, but I think you understand.
That's okay, and we certainly do
Timing-wise.
appreciate you and understand that what your concerns are.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. 4B, speed limit signs on Mayor Road between Carmichael and Aspen. Apparently there are none. Bueller?
I don't think so.
It doesn't appear to be, even with these pictures.
I don't know if anything was ever up there because it was basically an old farm road.
Yeah, there was
So I
nothing there.
think a couple signs may be warranted of knowing what the speed limit, it's 25, correct?
Yeah.
There's a lot more traffic on that road now than there has ever been. I'll make the motion to do that. I think that, again, that should be given to the council and not put on the consent agenda so that Dean Chamberlain can weigh in on it.
I'm wondering if this should go to
Public Works? Okay, then we'll send it to Public Works.
I'll second it, but I'm just wondering, these are cropping up, to your point, this is all new up there, and roads are going in, streets are going in, blah, blah, blah. Just wondering if there should be even more of a overview kind of revisit that whole area. I mean, are we gonna see more things crop up, I guess my question. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like, is there like a review, like a safety review of that neighborhood? That,
Can't hurt, but the biggest issue we would run into is we all know River Ridge Road needs attention.
Yeah, true.
And that is not gonna help solve anything, because we can do whatever we want on Mayor Road, because now it's a legal certified road, but River Ridge is not.
Got it.
And that's a spite of contention there, so.
Sure.
I don't think it would hurt,
Right.
but just that caveat.
I mean, that's something certainly we could talk about at city council. I mean, it's on the agenda and we could always
Okay.
bring it up there too. So.
Well, we don't, these committees are made to make those kind of decisions, so I don't wanna strap the whole city council in that process.
Right.
Committees are where we're supposed to hammer out the details.
Okay, well, we're sending it to Public Works to make the decision, because,
And why don't we schedule a different, item on our next agenda?
Good
To take
point.
to take
to
a
review
high-end
kind
level
of-
look at it and go from there.
it's a good idea.
That's a good idea. Great idea.
Okay,
Okay? Is there a motion made?
Yeah.
I made the
It was a
motion
mess-
to send it to
seconded
Public
it.
Works.
Okay, any further discussion? Any chiefs? No? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Informational items. Anything anybody have informational? No? So we'll go to the EMS update. John?
All right, I would like to introduce Matt, if you could go to the podium and maybe just give an introduction of yourself. Matt, Matt's been with us for a long time, but he took Bridget's place in November, but he hasn't been able to make these meetings, so I just wanted to make sure you guys could put a
Welcome
face to
aboard.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So again, Matthew Canifax. I've been a paramedic for 20 years with Lakeview, and in this spot now since November.
And you grill burgers and brats every Thursday up at the ambulance hall?
I
Is
wish
that
I
what-
could say that. I wish I could say that. My wife is from Hudson. I have a lot of family in Hudson. Mike Miller, the caretaker at Willow River Cemetery, is my father-in-law. So
Digger.
Yep, Digger Miller. Exactly, and his fun wife Liz, and a lot of family out in Hudson Township too. So I'm very vested in Hudson. So it's
Welcome.
nice to meet you guys. Thank you.
Thank you for all your hard
Thanks.
work.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Matt, do you have a business card I can get you added to the agenda?
Yes, ma'am.
Email group?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah, good. Thanks, Matt. So for EMS volumes, we've kind of been seeing a drop in our EMS volumes over here in the Hudson service area over the since around April. They just slowly dropping, but in July, just in the city of Hudson, I think we actually hit a record month. I didn't go back from the beginning when we started, but we did 150 calls, total calls in the city of Hudson in July this year. 114 of those were lights and siren response for an average response of 3 minutes and 50 seconds. And then in the 90th percentile, we were at 7 minutes and 10 seconds for our response time. There were 36 calls with no lights and sirens. We had one mutual aid request. It was for a fire standby. I don't know if they got canceled, but it was only a 6 minute. They were only on task for 6 minutes, so they might have got canceled. And then for an overall response for our EMS operation, we did 1,182 calls in July. So again, the last 3 months for us overall have been record. We're seeing record volume. So our staffing is still good. We're still 100% staffed. We had one of our longtime employees, 36 years. Jason's been with us, decided to retire, and we literally had his position filled the next day with one of our casual staff that wanted to switch to full-time. So we're in a good spot right now, and I hope we can just keep riding that wave.
Do you have any updates on the CAD with St. Croix County? I know that it's,
I don't have any updates. I know it was Angie from Alina and Terry have been talking back and forth on it, so.
I think they're in the process of hooking it up. Is that fair to say? Last I heard.
It's a long process. I mean, there's a lot of behind-the-scene things that have to be completed there, so
Okay.
I'm not sure where we're at with it, but
But it's moving forward, so
it is.
it's going to be a good thing for all of
At
our
a
people.
slow pace, but it's moving forward. So,
It's government.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know, any other updates, Matt, that I'm missing?
Can I ask you a question on mutual aid? Are
Yeah.
you talking about Hudson
Yeah.
fire or a different fire?
No, it was in the city of Hudson.
Okay.
Because it was River Falls that came, that's what showed up on our CAD notes, that River Falls came up. So it might have been that a fire call came in and our dispatch knew all of our rigs were busy, so they just automatically sent River Falls up to it. But essentially, it would probably take them longer than 16 minutes to get here. So I'm guessing two things. It doesn't tell me what happened. It just says they were on task for 16 minutes. So either our truck cleared up from whatever they were doing and was able to go to the fire standby, or River Falls didn't get here and we cleared by then, or there was no fire. I don't know.
We haven't had a fire in the city of Hudson, so.
Knock on wood. Jeez.
So, yeah, I don't know what it was. It shows up in our system, and that was the only one I saw. I guess the other thing too, 4th of July was pretty calm. We had lots of coverage on 4th of July. We had 8 of our trucks were all staffed on 4th of July because we got multiple parades and different events going on, and the whole weekend with booster days down here. It was busy, but not over the top and nothing out of the ordinary.
Good to hear.
For us, so, yeah, that's, I guess, my report for EMS.
Excellent. Thank you. Any questions? No? All right. Fire Chief Drew.
We're at 57 runs for the month of July. That's up 3 from last year. So the year total, we're up overall. I don't have the exact number, but it is, we're trending upward again. So for whatever reason. We're in the process now. We got approval to hire 10, so we're short 7, and I'm looking to overhire just to get some younger people in on the bottom, hopefully. So as some of the older guys go, they got some experience. So
Bill wants to join.
all right. I haven't seen his application come across yet, but
Working on it.
yeah.
Are you saying I'm younger?
So that's all right now to the end of the month, and then we're gonna review applications, and there'll be a process. We hope to have, hopefully we get 10. I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm overly confident that's gonna happen. It's
Just through retirement or just people
there was
moving
a
on?
couple job changes that didn't allow people to volunteer anymore. 2 members moved to Florida. A couple other various reasons. So we're down to 6 or 7. So yeah, we're gonna try to hire 10. We'll see how that goes. So and then like I mentioned, we had no fires in the city of Hudson. We did have a house fire in the town of Hudson, and then we had a fire up in North Hudson. So
Still pretty dry out,
it's extremely dry.
so people should be very wary about outside fires.
The rain we got helped, but it's by no means it's dry. So if we don't get any more rain before fall, I think we're gonna have a busy grass fire season this fall.
So word of caution to our general public.
For sure.
Okay. Thank you. Actually, one question before we get to Jason. Who is now the emergency management director? Is that Jeff? Okay. And all the sirens are working properly, do we know of?
As far as I know.
Have they changed their protocol on how they're issuing the sirens? Because there was some confusion this last storm that blew through, went south through River Falls, and people were wondering why St. Croix County's emergency sirens didn't go off. And before it was any
Countywide,
countywide, yeah.
that I don't know. I don't
Let's-
know if there's been a change in protocol.
Let's
That-
get an update on that if you would mind.
Yeah, I'll talk to Jeff. and-
Okay. Segueing into the police department update.
Sure. So we had a really good Tuesday night. That was National Night Out. Again, the weather was hot, but it was nice. It kind of clouded up to help us out a little bit, and it was packed. The band was good. We had the K-9 was there for a demonstration. We had the pepper ball launcher there for a demonstration. The taser. So just kind of the same as it's been the previous years, and it was a really successful event for us. And we had a lot of help. Quite a few firefighters were there. State Patrol, DNR, Lakeview EMS was there. So it was a good turnout.
I see boonie hats were required.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for like me. Fried to a crisp. Yeah, no, but it was a successful night for us, so it was very good.
How are you with staff?
We're one short right now, and we have one in field training. So I suppose you could say we're two short, but one will be coming off of field training shortly, probably with, I would imagine, the next month, and then we'll just be the one short.
Excellent.
Yeah, but that's something that we're working on. So.
Any questions for any of the chiefs? Nope. Okay, communication to items for the next agenda. Just an update on the sirens for sure. And then a overall view of road signs and safety up at Mayor Road is what we have. Yes, sir.
I'm also wondering, to your point with your question to Chief Muller, I wonder if we should invite Terry Anderson maybe to get an update for the.
You think he'd be ready? If he's ready, otherwise give us a heads up
I
when he.
got to talk with him this week anyways, or tomorrow, I should say, because the week's almost over. So I'll talk with him tomorrow and see where we're at, and Angie too. From
And if you can update it, or
Right, somebody update, if that's not the next meeting, maybe the meeting
Right.
after, whatever,
Okay.
but just so that we have a line of sight.
The next meeting, September meeting, Matt and I may be out of town. I haven't confirmed if Matt can go yet, but it's our annual medical directors conference, so it's the same night that starts.
Okay.
So at least when I looked at the calendar, that's what it looked like. So I'll let you guys know that.
Okay. Any other business before the committee?
Move to adjourn.
Second?
We stand adjourned. Thank you.